What's going on, guys? And welcome to another episode of Stepping Up with Serato. I'm here in the New York City headquarters. Shout out to OPZ right there. And we have two very special guests, nowhere near New York City, actually. We have Emily Rawson, who is in the UK, right? Okay, yes. And Whitley Ruchea, who is originally from the UK, but is currently in Dubai, and we're gonna get into that. But I can't see them. Can I see them? Okay, awesome. that helps. Hey guys.
Hey,
How are you? How you guys doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm super excited to get into this conversation with you guys to just see or talk about you guys' journey in the DJ world. What drew you guys to music?
Shall I go first?
Yeah, you go first, Emily.
As I was growing up, I always kind of loved it and played instruments. And I think the first hip hop record I bought was Jay-Z and Foxy Brown, I'll Be, when I was about 13. And ever since then, I was just crazy about it. And when I was like 16, boys at college had decks, and they let me have a go, and I was pretty good at it, and it all just kind of went from there, really.
That's dope. I love that it was a Jay-Z and Foxy record too. That's awesome.
Yeah, the greatest.
Did you said the boys just let you have a go on it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
they let me have a go, and they were surprised that I was actually better than them. Because in those days there were no female DJs, literally none. Like Spinderella, probably.
Right.
You know, because I'm like 39 now, so this was like when I was 16, so a long time ago, like 23 years ago, and there were literally no one. And then I started doing mixtapes, and I worked in Foot Locker, and they started playing them in Foot Locker. And then when I was at uni, I started club nights, and it just kind of went from there, really.
That's super dope. I love that. So were you are always naturally into hip hop, or did you get into hip hop once you started DJing?
No, I was always into hip hop. Hip hop, R&B. Have you heard of UK Garage? It's like really big in England, or it was really big in England. Whitley's dad was also a UK Garage DJ. It's like two-step. It's kind of similar to, I guess it's kind of similar to, do you know what, like kind of like funky house, two-step? Do you know what that is? I don't know if you have that in America.
It's like club, kind of. Okay, UK version of club. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
It's like you must know grime, right?
Yes.
Grime music, yeah. So like Skepta, Kano. So that kind of came from garage. It was like the next thing. So yeah, garage, hip hop, R&B. That was kind of where it started.
Nice. I gotta do some research into that. Okay, Whitley, how about you?
So my dad is a DJ, and I grew up listening to him playing from as young as I can remember. But he never wanted me to get into it. Surprisingly, he didn't teach me when I was younger. He didn't want me in that club scene because he was around it. He kind of knew what it entailed. So yeah, it wasn't until I was 20 I actually got into it. So 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago. I went to uni, did music production, and he seen that I had a passion for it. So eventually he taught me. And yeah, growing up listening to him kind of paid off because I was.
It's funny that your dad didn't want you to do it. I remember when I graduated college, it's kind of when I started taking DJing seriously. And my parents are like, so you went away for 4 years just to become a DJ? You couldn't figure that out before you got all this debt and stuff. But it's like, it's just funny how life, takes its places. But Whitley, what were like your interests, I guess, musically before you got into DJing? Like, were you like heavy into hip hop, or like what's your sound?
Yeah, so my sound kind of came off the back of whatever he was into. So originally, garage was what I was raised on, which is what Emily mentioned. That was the sound of like the 90s in the UK and early 2000s. So yeah, I was raised on that. That's still my love. Like today, I love garage. And then yeah, he went into R&B and hip hop. So naturally, that was what I ended up listening to growing up. And yeah, I've still got the passion for all those genres today.
Nice. I love that. So you're in Dubai right now, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you move there, or are you just there working?
I've moved here now I'm kind of back and forth between here and the UK with sets. But yeah, for the next 2 years, this is going to be my base just to kind of network, build my profile and following out here, and then see where I end up after this.
I love that. How are you liking it?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, there's nothing you can compare it to, like waking up and the sunshine, I go to the pool and chill for the day, come back, do some work, and then I DJ at night. It's a great life.
Wow. Nah, I love that for you, actually.
Thank you.
Emily, let's talk about the nightlife or the brunch scene in the UK. I know you have a really poppin' hip hop and R&B brunch, Super Duper Fly, which I love the name.
Nice. I got the tea as well.
Oh, perfect. I love
You can't see it on the screen, so I had to show you.
Yeah, that's dope. I love that. So, what made you start that brunch?
Oh, we do club nights and brunches and family parties you can bring your kids to, and festivals. There's just so many different things. But the brunch really came out of, I think older people don't want to go to clubs anymore. I don't go to clubs. I'm more into brunch parties now than clubs. And I think a lot of the time, once people hit 30, they're like, I still want to party. I want drinks to my table. I don't want to get in at 4 o'clock in the morning. I want to get in at 6 p.m. because a lot of people have kids as well, right? So that's kind of how it started, really. And now I'd say the brunches are even more popular than the clubs now in London. It's like, I know brunches were really big in New York, and they have been for a long time. And then a couple of big brands started brunches like us and another crew, and now they've just taken over now. Like, everyone does a brunch. We have brunch parties every weekend, and they are.
I was gonna say, I think that. Well, I heard that in the UK, the nightlife scene has got very, very expensive. Like, to have a good time in the club is easily $1,000.
It depends where you go. Like, if you go to the West End, like central London, like bougie clubs like in Mayfair, then yeah. But that's not where you're gonna hear that's not where you're going to get the best crowd and the best music. Like, to get the best crowd and the best music, you go to East London, like Shoreditch, Dalston, or you go to South, you go to Brixton, you go like central London. That's just like where, there's not really any substance to it, you know. It's like in New York, if you party in like Manhattan, isn't it just like bougie? But then if you party in Brooklyn or Harlem, it's a bit more.
A lot of culture.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same here.
Okay, that makes sense. I like that. That's dope. I really am in love with the party name. Like, dang, why didn't I think of that? That's and I see you also have a DJ collective, Rock the Bells.
Yeah, it's a all female DJ crew, which we've had for 10 years. And we've played like festivals, and we've actually been to New York to play. We came over quite a while ago now, like 8 years ago. And we have a club night every month at Emira in London. We have a brunch party twice a month called Rawson Brunch. So yeah, it's amazing, and it's given a lot of female DJs opportunities, which is the most important thing.
That's really dope. When did you decide to put that together?
Rock the Bells started about 10 years ago. I was working for someone else in West End clubs, actually, promoting, and I knew I wanted to do something to help women, and I knew I wanted to go it alone. So that's when I started Rock the Bells. And the first event was just like a total roadblock, queues all the way down the street, loads of press, loads of artists came through, and it just kind of went from there, really. And now there are quite a few all-female lineup club nights in England. But I think we were probably the first to do it. So I think that's important. And the brunches, as I say, the brunches are even more popular now than the club nights. So we do like 2 of those, which are always sold out every month too. So if you're ever in London, you have to come.
Yeah, I would love to pop up to that. I really like the concept too. Just all women line up, Rock the Bells. How do you select, or how do you guys like pick who's initiated into the crew?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one. Normally it's whoever harasses me the most, to be honest.
Mhm.
It's like DJs will just bug me and bug me and bug me, or like one of our girls was at a talk I was doing for Red Bull, and she came and gave me a CD, which was just so old school. I said, like, I don't even have a CD player. So she sent me a link to her Mixcloud, and that's it. This is Sandra Amari, and now she's absolutely killing it. That was like 3-4 years ago. She started curating playlists for Tidal now. She's like killing it. So I'd like to think I gave her first kind of breakthrough and opportunity. So yeah, really, it's just about good people, you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be the best DJ in the world, but it's equally about as important to have a good attitude and to have good vibes and good energy, you know. That's equally important. Yeah,
Definitely agree with that. I'm big on energy too, so it's like as long as you got good
yeah,
energy, we could figure it out. But okay, so
yeah.
Whitley, transitioning from the UK scene into the Dubai scene, do you see a major difference in kind of like how we're talking about how clubs are very expensive, but now people are transitioning to brunch? Like, what's going on? Like, what's the difference in what's going on in Dubai?
Yeah, so there was quite a lot of change, I guess. Over here, obviously, the crowd is a lot more international. So the music I was playing in the UK, I was playing quite heavy hip hop in the clubs I was in. But now I'm having to kind of adjust a bit. I'm playing a lot more like Moombathon, reggaeton, Latin music, just a bit of everything really. Afro beats out here is huge as well. Obviously in the UK, I'd probably play more dancehall, but here, Afro beats is kind of the sound. So yeah, that was one sort of adjustment to make. And then there's a lot going on here. There's brunches every single day, pool parties every single day, clubs are open every single day, which is very different to the UK. In the UK, during weekdays, it's mainly student nights, cheap student nights. But out here, it's like people are spending hundreds, thousands of pounds on a Monday. It's
Wow,
crazy.
Really?
crazy.
Yeah.
You're making me want to move to Dubai.
Yeah, that's great.
Seriously, like.
It sounds like Vegas. It sounds like what Vegas used to be, right?
Yeah. There's something going on every single day here.
Wow. No, you're making me want to book a flight. It's crazy.
We're coming to stay with you. We're all coming to your.
Yeah. Okay, so it's funny that you say that they like a lot of like Latin music and Afrobeats music, because I feel like even here, I know in Manhattan, a lot of the hip hop clubs, they're definitely gone, but they're like being bought out by bigger companies, and the sounds that they're playing now are, like you said, Latin and Afrobeat. So I feel like that's just like the number one trending genre like across the world.
Afrobeats is huge here as well in London. Yeah, totally. But we try not to play too much Afrobeats. We try and kind of stay true to being a hip hop and R&B event, because then all the hip hop and R&B heads that come and they don't hear enough hip hop and R&B, then they complain. So we've had to say to all the DJs, right, the music needs to be 80% hip hop and R&B and 20% Afrobeats and dancehall and other stuff. Otherwise, it becomes an Afrobeats night, and that's not what we are. So I think it's important to kind of try and stay true and not just like follow the trends and do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, I like that. It is difficult, right? Especially like this summer with Tim's and Wizkid. Essence being like the number one song of the summer. Everybody wants to hear it every hour at a party, and you're trying to stay true to a theme. But like you said, I'll do like 5 minutes at the end of my set of like Afro beats, just to show like, I have it too, but this is what I'm
yeah, same, exactly the same.
Yeah. But I was gonna piggyback off of that comment though. What was it? Having a brain fart. Something about, you said, staying true to hip hop and R&B parties. So would you say, because something that I realized is I moved to New York from Maryland, and in Maryland we really only listened to hip hop and R&B, and then when I moved to New York, that's when I had to expand into Latin and Afrobeats and this, that, and the third. So would you say that is something that happens in London for you as well?
Yeah, like you definitely have to play other stuff for sure. Like as I said, the essence of what we play is hip hop and R&B, but then yeah, you have to play some dancehall for sure. A lot of dancehall actually, because obviously in London there's a like huge Caribbean Jamaican community, so a lot of people want to hear that, including my husband and my son. But yeah, garage as well, but not so much Latin here because obviously there aren't many Hispanic people in London or in England really. So yeah.
So both of you guys being from UK, how do you feel about, like, well, personally, I'll say this before I ask. Personally, a lot of my favorite artists right now are coming out of the UK. And I know usually it's the other way around, like American culture is influencing UK, but now it's UK culture is influencing America with artists like Tiana Major 9, Little Sims, etc. So how do you guys feel about that to be, I guess, recognized on the same level as where, like, in the 90s, it was the other way around?
Yeah, I feel like for the R&B scene, the UK is probably very influential. But personally, for the hip hop scene, the UK is, apart from drill, we had our moment with drill, but now it's like everybody's doing drill, and it just sounds very much same. This sample drill that's in it as well. I don't know, but yeah, for the R&B scene, I think the UK is doing great, more than great.
Yeah, they're killing it right now. And you know what? I have to blame you guys for now. Everybody in New York is doing drill also. like that is like the sound. I do like the fact though, like when it comes to the drill sound, at least out here, I'm not sure if you guys are doing it yet, but they started sampling like 90s R&B records and drill beats now. So it
Yeah,
like it
noticed
makes
that.
it,
Yeah.
it's a little more digestible for me. I like it
Yeah.
more.
I mean, I don't play drill. Sorry, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm too old, but it is not my thing at all. So yeah,
Yeah,
any drill dropped me out of the conversations.
I think there was a couple of songs and a couple of artists that really hit the nail with it, like Heady One. He did a couple
Yeah,
like
he's like the only drill artist.
yeah, but he did quite well with it. But recently, like these sampled drill tracks, I'm just not feeling really random songs as well.
So do you guys think that this is gonna be a phase in hip hop, or do you think that it's gonna live in its own little subculture? Because the fact that you guys have your own drill scene, Chicago has their own drill scene, New York has its own drill scene. As much as I'm not in love with it the same way you guys.
I don't know anyone that is in love with it. I think like the people that are in love with it are quite young, I think maybe like 18, 16-year olds. It's like, I'm going to get so much hate for saying this, aren't I?
No, I quite like some drill songs I can get down with. Like I play them as well, but I definitely think it's a phase. The UK is very very big on having its kind of phases. Like 2017, we were in an Afro swing phase where every artist was making Afro swing tracks for the clubs. At the minute, we're in this drill phase where every UK artist wants to make drill for the clubs, but that club phase will fizzle out probably by the summer, to be honest, or by the end of this year. We'll have a new phase. I don't know what it's going to be, but there will definitely be a new like genre of music in the UK scene for sure.
It's so funny how music just transitions on and branches into all these different things. So where do you think that is gonna go next? Like I feel like here sonically, I'm seeing a lot of rap funk projects and like hip hop rock projects. Like I feel like those are the top two things that it's gonna go one or the other way, and I'm not sure.
I'd like it to go. I don't think it would ever happen, but I'd like it if we did some kind of hip hop disco vibes. I was listening to a mix earlier, and it was everything that Nile Rodgers produced, and that man is just a legend. Like what he's done is just absolutely incredible, and he's so diverse. And I was thinking, man, I'd love it if there was some like disco hip hop crossover. I'm sure it won't happen, but yeah, Whitley, you produce. Maybe you can make it happen.
Good try.
Hit up Nile for a collaboration.
Yeah. I feel like we're gonna get an Amapiano crossover or an Afro. Like we've already kind of Ed Sheeran jumping on the Peru remix and
Yo, Ed
Omalay.
Sheeran never misses a beat, by the way. Okay,
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran on every mix.
Yeah, so I definitely think in the UK, probably our summer sound is going to go more towards Amapiano or like an Afro beat kind of sound, like the UK artists jumping on that. So we'll see.
I can see that for the summer. I definitely
Yeah,
can
for sure. Yeah.
Mm.
How would it be a bad thing?
Yeah. Oh, Emily, I wanted to talk to you about being a DJ mom. Now,
Yes.
that's something I really look forward to, and like in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, I can't wait to play my kids this and be like, this is classics. Is your son like super musically in tune because he's always around you DJing?
Yeah, he loves dancing so much. Like every day we put tunes on in the house, and he listens to everything. So like he'll listen to Vibes Cartel, and then he'll listen to Elton John, and he will get down to both of them. Like we try and play him every single genre just so he's got really diverse taste. And obviously the more you listen to, the more knowledge you're going to have. So yeah, he loves it. He's always singing. He makes up songs already. He raps. He makes up like rhymes, and he's just 3. It's amazing. But yeah, it's pretty full on. Like I thought I could have 6 weeks off after he was born and go back to DJing in clubs like every weekend, and that definitely didn't happen. So yeah, now it's kind of brunches, and we do a party called Fly Kid, which is a family hip hop and R&B and soul party. We do that once a month, so that's something that he can come to and dance and get down with his friends as well, which is great.
That's dope. I like that. That's really cute.
Yeah.
So you said that originally the plan was to take 6 weeks off, but that did not happen. Why didn't it happen?
No, because the babies don't sleep, and they want to be with you all the time, especially if you're breastfeeding them. So it's like you can't. I think the first time I left him, I had a gig at the National Theatre by the South Bank in London. It was like a big summer gig by the river. Have you been to London, Nyla? Have you been to London?
Yeah.
Have you been to? Yeah, you have. Yeah. So you know the River Thames. So there was this big gig that I did by the River Thames, and I was supposed to DJ there. And then at the after party for there was a Roots show at Somerset House, and I was supposed to DJ there. I got a call from my husband to say that like my baby was just freaking out. He would not stop crying. He wouldn't take the bottle. So I just had to go home. Like that's what happens. So I missed out on that gig, that Roots after party because of my son.
Dang.
Yeah.
Legendary, man. Come on.
I know, right? I know. But yeah, sacrifices.
How long would you say, or what's the time period it took for you to get back into the groove of things?
Well, there was like a year of being a mom and being tired all the time. And then COVID hit, right? So like by the time I was ready to roll again, COVID hit. And then we had like a year and a half of not being able to do things properly. So it's only really been since like July 2021 when things have got back to normal and I've got my mojo back, and we can just start thinking about moving forward and progressing with everything, because obviously there were times in London where there were no restrictions, but it would be like clubs, and we could do clubs and brunches, but people weren't supposed to dance. So like every time someone danced, security would make them sit down. It's just crazy. So it was like, trying to make some money, and everything was restricted for so long. But now, I feel like I've definitely got it back now, and things are exciting. We're planning a lot for the summer, which is, it's very good. We've got a festival coming up in Santorini in June as well. So, we're just looking forward to that.
Nice. I was excited when the pandemic hit because I felt like a lot of people were going to start becoming like antisocial, and nobody's going to want to party. Everybody's going to be comfortable with our, digital parties and just tuning into our
Yeah.
So how has it been? I mean, Whitley, it sounds like Dubai is up and active. COVID's down. Everybody's outside. No issues there.
Yeah, no issues. I came out here last year, to be honest, during peak COVID, and probably shouldn't have happened, but things were still going on. There was restrictions, but it was very lax. Security would put tape over your camera on your phone so that you couldn't actually record anything. But yeah, they found ways around it. Yeah. But yeah, at the minute there's no restrictions at all now. We're just about to go into Ramadan though, so I'm actually going back to the UK for the month because you can't have DJs during Ramadan. But yeah, COVID is non-existent.
Nice. I love that. And I know you spin on BBC, right? BBC Radio.
Yeah, I do mixes for One Extra as well. Yeah. They're cool. Yeah.
How do you like spinning on the radio?
Yeah, I love it. I did have a radio show in Manchester, my own show, but obviously moving out here, I haven't been able to get back to it yet. But yeah, spinning on radio is cool. One Extra is a national station as well. National, but maybe international as well, because
it's international, yeah.
International.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, it's cool. Yeah, it was good to build like the connections and stuff and networking with the producers from there.
So when you had your own show in Manchester, it was just a weekly show where you spun, or were you like doing other things?
Yeah, so it was a kind of talk show, but I used to mix at the end. I used to do like a power hour where I'd just go in and mix and obviously chat over the top. But yeah, that was a weekly show, just on FM, like community radio.
Super dope.
So Manchester based.
Yeah, I love that. I hope you start that back up. That's really cool. Yeah. And when you're spinning on an international like radio show, because mine's is local, like I'm on in New York, but how do you...
Power's a big station in New York.
Yeah. Okay, you know about it. All right.
When we came to New York, like our Rock the Bells crew, we came to New York like 2012, 2013, and we went to Power and we met Angie, and she was she was so nice to us. And I've still got a photo actually of me with Angie. I'm like, I love it. She's amazing.
That's dope.
Yeah, she's one of me and Whitley were talking about this actually. We feel like she's one of the most underrated female hip hop artists. She made so many great tunes.
You know, Angie is my OG in the music industry. Like I met her when I was in college, and she kind of like put me under her wing. But she kind of hates her music. Like,
no,
she wants to be more respected just for like her craft, which is like the radio thing.
Okay,
I love the music too.
I love it. Like if I could go, is one of my favorite hip hop tunes.
It's a classic, Little Mo.
It's a tune, man.
Yeah, I think she said that she's gonna start embracing it. I literally just had this conversation with her, so it's so funny you said that. But she said she's gonna start embracing it, and it should be on DSPs by the end of this year.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. Tell her what we said.
Yeah. We're making progress. That is so funny.
Bring back Angie's music.
Yeah, I don't know why she doesn't want to embrace that. I think that's and I feel like, you know, a lot of women feel like you can't do more than one thing because the world tries to tell you can't do more than one thing. So you try to like shy away or stuff like that. But I was gonna say, when spinning on radio though, I know I have to spin differently, like the songs I pick. So what are some things that you play when you're spinning for BBC? Emily, I know you play for BBC as well, right?
Yeah. I just kind of play tunes. Obviously, you have to play clean versions. There's certain artists that you are not allowed to play. So you wouldn't be allowed to play anyone that was like in prison. So you're not allowed to play like Vybz Kartel. I think there was a stage where...
What?
Yeah, you're not allowed to play Vybz Kartel. There was a stage where we couldn't play DMX. I think obviously you're not allowed to play R. Kelly or anything.
Blasphemy. Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
But why?
I don't know. I guess there's no separation between the music and the crime, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know the rules.
That makes no sense, because there's artists who haven't been to jail that rap about the same things that artists who have been to jail do.
Exactly.
The BBC want to be associated with prison.
It's the BBC, right? It's like, it's very uppity.
You know, a lot of these old systems really got to change.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, when I'm doing my mixes for radio, I kind of play the music that I don't get to play in the clubs really. So I wouldn't really play bangers on the radio. It would be more like kind of forgotten tracks, I think.
Is that being received well? I feel
Yeah,
like I
for
have to
sure.
sprinkle in the bangers just to make sure I'm not throwing anybody else because they're getting too lost in my sauce. You know what I mean?
I only do guest mixes, so I only do like one a month. So I think
Okay.
if I had a show like every day or every week, I probably need to make it more kind of commercial. But I think because
Okay.
it's only once a month, you can get away with just doing you really.
Nice. I get
Mm.
that. So what can we look forward to from you guys this year? I know things are starting to kick back off. Whitley, you're bi-coastal, or is it bi-coastal, bi-country, I guess is how they would word it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm kind of going to be back and forth. I'm going to be playing in Ibiza in I think August. I've got Ibiza Rocks and S Paradise. I'm not entirely sure. Emily knows how to pronounce that one. I'm going to be obviously Dubai based. I'm going to be back in the UK, spinning at like Cirque, and then Ibiza more towards the end of the year. So that's kind of my plans at the minute. Obviously, hopefully get back on radio. I'm actually going to be releasing a single over the summer as well. I've been back producing now, so
Awesome.
Amazing.
get back into that. But yeah.
Have you always been producing? I know you were a part of the Serato Academy. Did you learn how to produce in the academy, or were you producing before that?
So I went to uni and did music production at university.
Okay.
So I've got a degree in music production. But joining the Serato Academy kind of gave me the kick up my bum I needed to get back into it, because after uni, I was just full-time DJing, and then I was just like, oh, I don't have time, just making up excuses kind of thing. But after the academy, I was like, no, I did this at uni. This is what I love to do. Make the time for it, get up, spend the hours you need, like writing the song. So yeah, I'm looking forward to releasing that. See how it goes.
That's super dope. So what's the song? What type of song is it that you're releasing?
It's actually going to be a kind of garage song. It's my first love, my first inspiration. So yes, it's a summer release. It's like a garage beat, but like an R&B style singer on. So I've got a female vocalist and I'm getting a male rapper. But I'm actually going to flip the script with the lyrics. So instead of like, it's a love song, but more like a situationship song, but from the woman's point of view, like she's the one who doesn't want the relationship kind of thing.
Period. I love that. Yeah.
Female empowerment kind of vibe. So yeah.
That's dope. I'm looking forward to that. You said July?
Yeah, probably around just before I go Ibiza, so summertime. We've literally just got the female bits we're working on, and then I've got to get the male and then sorted. Beats all finished, but yeah, it's just the vocalist.
Good. Make sure you send it to me whenever you finish it. And I'm happy that you got re-inspired. What are some things, because I run into this sometimes where like I feel uninspired with the music. What are some things that you do to re-get that feeling going?
I think for me this time around, it was working with somebody else. I sat in the studio with one of the guys out here who's amazing, and I was just watching him work, and I was like, this is crazy. Like I need to be doing this. So I just started going studio with him, and then he's actually been engineering my sessions. So just having someone else to kind of vibe with and bounce off and come up with ideas has really kind of helped me get the spark back and the creativity. 'Cause sometimes doing it on your own, you can feel like you're not really getting anywhere with it. You'll start a beat and then it's like, oh, don't like it. You won't go back to it. You'll start something else, get so far. And yeah, I found working with someone else kind of let the creativity flow a bit more.
Nice. That's understandable. I think working with the collective is always better, just for energy purposes, really. Like you guys are all aligned and creating and excited. And it's funny you say that that we're talking about like being inspired, because last night I actually heard this indie song, it's soft rock song on TikTok, and then it reminded me of the SZA song, and then I stayed up till 2 a.m. like making this mix for no reason, and, and then just to wake up early and come here. But Emily, what can we expect for you to come in this year?
We've got our Super Duper Fly Festival in Santorini in June. So we bring like 500 people out from London and throw like 4 epic parties in private villas, on beaches, in insane venues, like right on the edge of the volcano in Santorini. I'm sure you've seen what Santorini is like, but it's a very beautiful place. So we're really looking forward to that. And yeah, just the kind of the regular events, really. I've got my Emily Rawson and Friends brunches, which I've launched now, which is every month in London. I'm launching my own Emily Rawson and Friends rooftop party as well. So that's going to be once a month too. So it's really about elevating myself now as opposed to just the brands. I think for a long time I kind of focused on the brands and almost got a little bit lazy myself and wasn't necessarily at my own events. So just the team were kind of running them for me. But now everything's kind of back. I haven't got a baby to look after. I've got a little bit more time, so I'm kind of just pushing myself out there on my own events.
I love that.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
And if you ever need a push, you can call on one of your DJ sisters. We got you for sure.
Oh, thank you.
But thank you guys for chopping it up with me. It was really great to connect. And I definitely want to come to Dubai and come to the UK. So I'm going to hit you guys up.
We'd love that. You will be looked after very well if you do.
Yes. All right, cool. Have a good day or good night. It's morning over here, but for you guys.
And you.
Yeah. Enjoy your guys' night. Thank you guys.
Bye.
We'll be back. Oh, no more. This is the last one stepping up with Serato. Wow. Okay, but we'll be back. I'm gonna talk to OP. We gotta come back. Later, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.